Okay, hello everyone. It is Sunday evening. Hi, my girl, IG Winnie Cakes, and I'm from London. So I've just had a Sainsbury's order that has just been delivered. So it's a whole load of everything that's just been delivered. I've just had two weddings this week. I had a wedding on Wednesday and then Thursday. One at Addington Palace and the other one was at Northbrook Park. So two wedding venues. One I'm always at Northbrook Park. I'm a recommended supplier there. And Addington Palace, I've never been there. I've been doing weddings for donkey's years and I've never ever been there. So I am looking here because let me get everything. I have 13 weddings this month. So these are like my wedding schedule for the month. So it has the flavors, it has the timings, the venue, what they want, florals, all of that stuff. And I actually had two last minute bookings come through. Next week was supposed to be my like relaxation mode week, but two weddings came through very last minute from two different planners, which is wonderful, which I'm very, very happy about. But that means I kind of need to kind of fill in the gaps in different places. Honestly, what was I doing? I planned like a couple of meetups. I was gonna go to the seaside over here in the UK, if I haven't said already. So we're having a very British summer. So it's gonna be like 30 degrees this week. And that means baking very, very early, very, very early. So Tesco's orders. Tesco order has just come through. If, for example, I ran out of self-raising flour this week, which is so bizarre. Also, sorry, this is just really random. It says, I don't know if you're gonna see, but it says do not eat raw. And I think this is so important to just say, because I feel like a lot of people make cookie dough without treating it. So you wanna make sure that it's actually treated. But I ordered loads of those. I ordered, I've got a vegan cake coming up. By far my favorite butter to use. I genuinely feel like I prefer this, the texture of this, as opposed to normal butter. Like I absolutely love that. And also I ordered a really huge thing of vodka. Now I use this for my extracts. Now I start my extracts, when do I start my extracts? I start my extracts in January. And they are perfect for the wedding season. So I just wanted to top up. I've got two empty ones. So I want to top it up and put it into here to make sure that it's kind of ready for like, I'd say early next year. So I got some of that. I got some lemon curd, beautiful Tesco's finest lemon curd. It's either I use these or Bon Maman. I got butter. I have, what's that? Okay, I have butter, vegan chocolate. Also, this is my favorite baking powder. Like, as I said, I've been baking for such a long time. This baking powder, I really enjoy using. I think it's fantastic. This I also do put, it's like a secret ingredient. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret ingredient. I really like using this for a lot of like my rich spiced cakes, because I think it's just so well rounded on top of other spices I use. Anywho, and then some blackcurrant jam. Again, Texas kindness, because we love a bit of quality. So I have a whole load of orders I need to put away. I've ordered loads of things off eBay, Amazon, just over the times, just because I've needed to like prepare. I normally highlight things when, for example, like I have like a little detail, like for example, they want dogs on their cake, or they want specific flowers, or they want gluten-free cupcakes. So I'm just kind of highlighting things as I go along, just so I don't forget to do certain things. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put everything away, and then we can start enjoying our Sunday evening. Okay. So it's Wednesday. Now, there was a couple of days in between. I had a good couple of family days, which is so needed in the midst of wedding season. Today was an incredibly hot day. So I started off, I think I was probably baking by like 7. And it was very, very, very bright in the morning. popping in an AirPod because obviously I do need to keep company with a podcast, and I do have a bouquet of flowers that have been dried from a wedding that I did previously, but I am just filling up for the day. Now this point of the day I'm normally just kind of coming in and thinking about what I need to be working on, and this is something I actually definitely want to do. Is going to break down how I do the planning of my baking weeks, but I have a mini whiteboard which I find so helpful, and this is where I kind of write down all of the things that I need to be baking for that day. Now, wedding season can be incredibly overwhelming when you've got so many moving parts, and this is like my cake schedule. I do one every single month, and it has literally everything I need on it to remember. The worst thing you can do for someone on their wedding day is to provide the wrong thing or forget something, especially when they've invested so much into their wedding, right? So I definitely don't want to forget anything. So this day I'm just working on vanilla, salted caramel and red velvet. This week's wedding cakes, these are the flavors that I need, and I always write down the inches that I need for the tins because it's helpful. I can just have them all out ready to go. The best thing about having obviously your own business is that the fact that you can have your own systems and processes, but streamlining makes me kind of slow down on timing. I'm not slow down on timing. It makes me work incredibly fast because time really is money, and you definitely want to minimize the time, especially in the summer months. So I'm just kind of double checking these are the flavors that I need, and also a lemon. I had a lemon and elderflower sponge as well. So I definitely want to do a video all about Kenwoods. I've used both. I've used a K-Mix, a Kenwood, and also a KitchenAid, and I am a ride or die Kenwood girly through and through. So I'm focusing all about how I'm kind of saving time in this video, as you would have noticed. Now, one of the things I love for saving time is I take out all of the ingredients way before I start baking. So like an hour or two before I start baking, the butter is already at room temperature. And this is also another hack. Now I pre-grate or zest a whole load of lemons and pop it in the freezer. This is a game changer because this way I actually have the most popular flavor is a lemon and elderflower that I make, and this way I can just go into my freezer and then just zest the lemons. This little pack would last me a good 3 weeks, which is perfect. Now, whenever I show eggs, me cracking eggs, I normally get comments. I actually learned this way of cracking eggs. I did it a 2-month stint of me working at a bakery, and I learned it there. I will unpack that 2-month stint in a later video, but it's always just so much easier. Now, another thing that I use to save my time, you would have seen this in a shop before, but I pre-do all of my recipes that you can see. I absolutely love this spray. Normally I'm wearing a mask because this spray gets all over me and everywhere. And also one of the things I love to do is I like to weigh my ingredients and weigh my tins just to make sure that everything is nice and easy and smooth. I'm moving on to my salted caramel, which is always homemade because I just think it's so much easier, and also I just prefer the flavor. Now listen up, because I love a good couple of tips. Now I actually always use salted butter, and then to thicken the salted caramel I always add in some white chocolate as well to make sure it's thickened. This is a part that I feel like not many people see, is a shed load of washing up. I don't have a dishwasher currently. I am the dishwasher, but this is also a really nice time to just kind of either catch up on voice notes or just to focus on what the day has just been. As you would have seen, there's a whole load of cakes, red velvets, lemons, chocolate, just all the deliciousness, and I wrap them away to make sure that they're nice and fresh. And you now can see how thick the salted caramel is, which works perfectly because when it's a thin and you don't want it to ooze out. Hope you enjoyed. Bye guys, see you in the next one.